So let's talk about YouTube. Is it worth it for you to invest your time, energy, and resources into growing a YouTube channel? Does it have to be some big project? Is it beneficial for you if you have an online coaching business, consulting business, marketing agency? We're going to dive into those topics, dispel a couple myths here that I feel like hold people back. At least these are some things that I believe that held me back from getting started on YouTube. And coming from the perspective of someone that's been on YouTube for a little bit over a year, I think it's around a year, I don't know, but with a small channel, and why that actually is important, because you don't really need a huge channel. This is going to be an unedited version. We're just gonna riff. We're just gonna jam, have a nice little conversation. So, if you don't know who I am, my name's Adam. I owned a gym for 9 years, sold that for 120 million. Just kidding. 120,000. All right. But hey, that was life-changing money for me at that time in 2019, and probably for a lot of people watching, right? So I was able to successfully sell that and started a marketing agency. Been running that for 5 years. I still have that. And then recently transitioned to help other agency owners, coaches, and consultants grow their business. That's where I really found my passion, utilizing my skills, utilizing my experience to bring the most help to people, because that's what it's all about, right? I believe business should be fulfilling. I believe business should be fun. I believe business should provide you a sense of calling and fulfillment. So that being said, YouTube, it's 100% worth it. If you think about any other platform, like who else pays you to bring you clients? Who else is going to pay you to bring you clients? Right? YouTube's the only one that does that. I'm not monetized right now, and I don't ever really care about monetization. I think that'll be an icing on the cake one day. But the most important aspect of YouTube is the ability to nurture clients. Right? For a long time, I ignored nurture. Very direct response heavy marketer. Right? Growing my agency was all about offers, selling people on guarantees, direct response. Spend 10 grand a month on ads, get people onto booked calls, close them, use a closer, use a setter. Very high expenses, very high stress, not a lot of fun. You got to start from zero every month, right? And I ignored the essential piece of marketing, which is nurturing your clients, nurturing your prospects. And when I say nurture, not clients, nurturing your prospects. And when I say nurture, I don't mean texting them, following up with them, calling them regarding your offer. Like, that's not nurture. Nurture, that's what I used to think nurture is like. All right, guys, we got to nurture our leads. You got to call them within 5 minutes. Like, that's not nurture. That's just sales. That's just sales and follow-up game, right? Nurturing is selling them on you, that you are a trustworthy messenger, selling them on you as a person, that your character is legit, that you are someone that will help them get results, right? Long before they actually ever have a sales conversation with you. So that's the most important part of nurture, right? And then the other aspect of nurture is selling them on your unique mechanism. How do you get people results? Does it logically make sense? Like, does your process, does your framework make sense to that person? Can you infallibly present your unique mechanism as the way? Can you sell them on that? The way to get the result that they're after. All right. So if you're selling better relationships, better marriage, is your process, does it stand out? Is it unique? Or does it sound just like every other relationship coach out there? I mean, you can apply this to any business, right? This is really like, if you think about weight loss, right? Obviously, the most boring dynamic is, hey, just eat less, work out more, 5 days a week. That's all you need to do, right? No, you gotta have a cool name, right? And that's not the most important part. The name's not the most important part, but your unique mechanism. I mean, this is why keto stands out, right? This is why keto, vegan, all of these different diets stand out and they get attention and they get people on there because it feels like a new way. Right? Russell Brunson really preaches this. Like, you got to have your old way versus the new way. And it really makes sense because it leads people through, referring to, if you haven't heard about it, the Epiphany Bridge script, right? You have your origin story. This is really what gets people to know, like, and trust you, get to relate to you, right? It's the good old Shire, right? With the Hobbit, the backstory. How did you get started? Where did you come from? What were your desires? Like, you need to be able to articulate this kind of stuff. And YouTube is the best place to do that because it's long form content, right? Long form content where people are there to spend time consuming content that is going to help them. So yes, YouTube is amazing to create marketing assets like sharing your story, right? This is something I teach. It's called the My Journey VSL. I teach this in my Freedom Creators mentorship, and I teach it for free here on YouTube as well. But essentially, it's all about taking people through that logical process of selling them on those first two components, which is selling them on you and selling them on your unique mechanism. This changed my life. When I started doing this, like, beforehand, I was taking sales calls with cold prospects, taking sales calls with people that didn't know, like, and trust me. And it was hard. It was like pulling teeth. They're asking me, how are you different from the other marketer? How are you different? Like, what makes you special? And they had these, like, super high resistance, walls are up. And for me, it was just draining. Like, occasionally I have good conversations, but for the most part, it was not my cup of tea, right? It was very draining. We got the kids trying to come in right now, trying to break in here while I'm in the middle of doing a YouTube video, huh? Benefits of working at home. Anyway, we're back. Lost my train of thought, but I believe I was talking about my experience with direct response marketing. And I remember really when I transitioned to this, because I decided to shut all of that down. I was done. I was over it. I reached my breaking point. Been doing that kind of sales for over 5 years, and it's kind of sold that way in my gym as well. So I transitioned and I started, with this question in mind, like this thesis of how can I grease up the sales process? How can I make it easier to sell when I get on calls? I want them to be pretty sold, right? I want them already to believe in what I do, believe in my process. And now we can just have a conversation, resolve any concerns they have, alleviate their fears, encourage them, show them the plan, give them the logistics. But that's all we should be doing on a sales call. And I 100% believe this, not just theoretically, but from experience. I remember the first time it actually worked. I got on a call with a dentist, went through my content, went through my mini little VSL, my Journey VSL, and he already knew me, liked me, trusted me. Whereas like a 15-minute conversation, it was chill. He already knew what my process was, and it was just a quick chat. Sent him over the agreement, signed up, $2,500 a month. So that's the game changer, man, because I know so many people, agency owners, on this grind and spending so much money on ads, spending ridiculous amounts of energy and stress trying to manage a team and all of that. And it's like the reality is, when I switch to this way, I don't need a sales team. I don't need setters. My marketing is strong. My marketing does all of that. And with this new process, I literally have like 90% show rates. Yeah, the volume's a little less, but that's good. I don't want to have my freaking sales calendar booked with 5 and 6 calls a day to only have 40% of them show up, to have my whole day wasted by no-shows, because you got to take into account the emotional dynamic of life, right? Like that is a frustrating experience, and it doesn't, especially if you don't need to do it that way. But I know if you're just watching this and you're used to doing it that old way, I was in the same position where I didn't think there was any other better way. Like, I wasn't about to just do organic content all day long and just wait for the algorithm to send me prospects. No. And that's why, I have other videos talking about the direct brand funnel, using that with Instagram, follower ads, getting people to follow you, then sending them to YouTube. That's really the best way that I've seen for beginners to start using YouTube, is you simply have 2 or 3 videos. You don't need to have this big channel with, weekly videos and all of that. Although that would be the smart thing to do, go all in on YouTube. It will reward you 3 years the long term. It will reward you 100%. But really the best way that I've used it, and I've seen other people using it for their coaching business, for their agency, is to run Instagram follower ads, right? Get people to follow you, have a link to your YouTube, to your specific video sales letter, but it's a video that's crafted in a way that feels very organic, right? You're telling your story, you're selling people on what you do, who you are. All of that gets done and accomplished in that video. Then you have another video that goes deeper into your model, into your way, right? So that's how I'd recommend YouTube to start out with. Have like 2 or 3 key video assets that you put up. And then after that, definitely focus on 1 video a week. Like that is very doable. Like for me, it's Monday. Today's Monday. I'm recording because this is the day I record, and it's scheduled and it gets done. So let's talk about things that can hold you back, though. Things that held me back, feeling like I needed to have all the perfect equipment. I'm literally filming on my iPhone. It's decent quality, right? It's an iPhone. I have one light. I've got a freaking Blue Yeti microphone. I don't have the fancy Shure, whatever, the black one with the whole, with the clamp. I'm sure I'll get that one day, but it's not necessary. This little Yeti gets the job done, right? I mean, it sounds pretty good. That's $100. It's a freaking $100. Okay. But those are the main things you need. Just have some good light. I got my guitar and that I can shred on that. All right. Maybe I'll do a video. That ain't just for show. Although I could only shred in one scale, which is the A minor pentatonic, if you know anything about guitar. Just to jam out on some blues, man. It's my favorite. Anyway, you don't need a lot of equipment. You don't need a lot. The other thing is thinking that you need to have some hyper edited YouTube video. Like this video, it's not going to be hyper edited. I may not be the greatest example of the power of unedited videos, but there's a lot of people out there that are absolutely crushing it with videos that are unedited, just jamming, just having a conversation. Because I think the market moves in trends. We have all this like super hormozy, short edited clips, and it's like, that's cool. If that's the type of vibe you want and you can't hold your damn attention to get some knowledge to help you grow your business, you're not my ideal client anyway. I ain't here to entertain you. I ain't here to entertain. All right. I'm here to get you some knowledge, help you so that you can get results. And then, of course, these videos, I'm doing the same thing. I'm sharing content that helps people get results in order to position myself as a guide, as someone that can help you by sharing my stories, sharing what I've gone through, sharing what my clients have gone through, all that. That's what YouTube's for, man. So that's another thing that holds people back. Oh, I got to get an editor. I got to hire an editor. No, you don't. Definitely not. Another thing that holds people back is I don't know what to talk about, man. I don't know what to talk about. Well, if you're an expert business, which my audience, the people I help, that's who you are. You have a skill. You have a coaching business. You should have pillars. You should have a brand doc. That's what I call it, a brand essence doc, a document you refer to that clearly outlines you should have this brand doc. And these are the only edits I'll have is my kids yelling in the background. I'll edit that part out, right? But you should have this brand doc that has all of the problems, outlines every internal struggle that they have, every external struggle, right? Internal struggles are like self-doubt, imposter syndrome, over analyzing, getting stuck, right? And then you should have your external problems, which are the very obvious ones. I want to lose 30 pounds. I want to make more money. I want to grow my business. I want to find a new marketing solution. I need more clients, right? I want to better my relationship. I want to have a more connected marriage, whatever the problems are. The list goes on, right? So you should have that brand doc, right? And then you should have your pillars, the pillars that make up your model. Like for me, I have the Freedom Creator way, the Freedom Creator model. That's something that resonates with me because I believe freedom has always really driven my life, really motivated my life to not have to ask money for permission to do things in life, to send my kids to whatever school I want to travel when I want to. And then freedom of purpose, to have my business be a manifestation of my calling as well, right? And that's freedom of purpose, because it's not all about just making enough money where you can travel and sit on the beach all day. Like, we were meant to work. We're always going to work, right? But we need that freedom to enable us to find that purpose. And that is usually on the other side of financial freedom. So that's the problem I solve. Helping people grow their businesses. If you're someone that solves problems online as a coach, consultant, or agency owner, then I can help you, right? So you should have that document that you refer to that will stimulate what you can talk about, right? So have those pillars of your model. Like, I have various pillars, like 4 pillars that really make up the Freedom Creator way. And then for each pillar, I have stories that are relevant, that are real and authentic, right? That I share, because that's really the best way of communication. Like, anybody can get on and just share knowledge, right? Like, you can look up ChatGPT, but nobody can compete with your experience. So just share your story. If you don't have a story yet, go and get some skills. Go and do something. Go accomplish something awesome, and then document along the way. All right. So one of the other main benefits of YouTube is it can shrink the time in which it takes to go from cold to sold, right? To take someone that doesn't know you, doesn't like you, and trust you, it can shrink the time, right? Because usually you'd have to have lots of conversations. They'd have to see your short form content, see your written content. But with YouTube, they can literally back to back consume all of your content, get a sense of who you are in a matter of hours. Right? I have a friend who shares that story of literally someone came into his world, watched his YouTube video, and then binged all of it and became a client the next day, right? And with a small channel as well, that's one of the other things that holds people back. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. I'll jump into that in a second. But the bingeability dynamic of YouTube is huge. Like, this one video is a marketing asset that I'm making. Every time you make a video, that's how you got to see it. Like, this one video is going to reach hundreds of people, thousands of people possibly. And it's going to sell people and bring people into my world and ultimately lead to their benefit, right? So that's the power of it. Like, within hours, someone can be absolutely don't know you to vibe with you. They get to know you and they want to work with you. So can't beat that. That's why I'm all in on YouTube. Another thing that holds people back, like I was saying earlier, is the fact that, I have a small channel. Like, this channel right now, it's small, right? I've got less than 1,000 subscribers, but it still brings me clients because I'm not in it for the monetization game. I'm not in it to have, millions of subscribers as an entertainer and make all my money off of brand deals and, monetization, ad spend. Not my play. The play is to grow the business. I have a high ticket, recurring coaching program that I sell, that I help people with. So you only need a couple people to know, like, and trust you enough, consume your content enough. And I'm happy that I can say that that's worked for me that way. That's how it's played out for me so far. And I'm going to be, consistent with this. And I know I'll grow my subscriber, but you can start reaping the benefits before you have some big, massive channel, right? Lastly, I will say this is something I'm testing right now, so I haven't proven, but I will be running YouTube discovery ads. I've heard a lot of good things about it because you can run these YouTube ads to a specific video and you can make that video show up amongst your competitors. You can put that video on the side where it seems a little more organic. It's not your in-feed, like, skippable video ads that you see on YouTube videos where you can, like, skip the ad. It's the one that shows up on the side underneath other recommended videos. So it has a little more of that organic feel, but you can push ad spend behind it to a hyper-targeted audience, get people to consume your long-form content right away, and then simply have a link to book a call with you or however your call to action is, which I will end this video with. If you want some help dialing in your messaging for your online coaching business, right? You want to dial in your message where you're not just getting lost in the noise, right? You're clear on your values. You're clear on the core stories you want to share. You're clear on the problems you want to solve. And you want help growing your online coaching business or agency. in a way that doesn't suck, where you're using this direct brand funnel, YouTube, all the stuff we're talking about, you'll find a link in the description. So go ahead and check it out there. I occasionally open the doors. I don't just sell my coaching program nonstop. That's not the way I like to do it. I like to occasionally open it up. So right now we are open till the 9th. Then I'll close the door so I can just focus on coaching clients, helping them get results. And then I'll probably open up in another month or so. All right. So you'll be able to find the link below. Hopefully this was helpful. Like, subscribe if you're still here. You made it to the end of this video, which is like 25 minutes. Appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully I have brought you some value. If so, let me know what your biggest takeaway is. Comment down below and let me know if you have any questions as well. I answer all the comments.